Right, so here we are again. Hello, good morning, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. So this is a kit that I bought when I was in Athens recently from Fasma Models, which was brilliant actually. I think it's probably one of the best model shops that I've ever been in terms of the selection that they had in there. You know, they had so many kits covering all subjects, you know, everything from vehicles, you know, motorbikes, racing cars, through to armor, aircraft, obviously, ships, loads of ships. They had figures and accessories and tools and, you know, paint ranges and things like that. So yeah, there was plenty to see there. I noticed that they had a few kits in there that were very, very reasonably priced, and this was one of them. And this one was actually €12, which I think is a bargain. It's ridiculous. I've never seen a Tamiya 1/48 scale kit in the UK for €12. Now, admittedly, this is quite an old tooling. If memory serves me correctly, I think it's from the 70s. It's a 70s tooling by Tamiya of the Mitsubishi A6M3 Zero, and in brackets it says there Hamp. I'm not sure what that means, but it's actually the Type 32 version of the Mitsubishi Zero, which has kind of squared off wingtips and other improvements. I think it was came into service in, I think, something like 1941. But I mean, what's really interesting, I mean, what really drew my eye to, I guess, this kit was the box art. And I mean, it's brilliant, isn't it? You've got the you know, the weathering on the paintwork. It's really pretty battered looking, very heavily weathered, as much of the Japanese aircraft were towards the end of the war. And this one appears to be flying over some sort of volcano, which is erupting in the background there. So you seem to have quite a few of these. I don't know whether they're involved in a dogfight or something. I can't quite see. There's something around here that doesn't really look like another one of these Zeros, but I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But yeah, it's amazing box art. And if you have a look, you can see the pilot as well. It's looking great, isn't he? Yeah, pilot's very kind of prominent in there, kind of framed by this kind of window pane of the cockpit. You've got this kind of drop tank, and you've got these kind of intakes and exhausts, and some sort of identifying markings here, and then I'm not sure on the tail, and then I'm not really sure what those are. It must be something for the air crew, whatever, you know, some sort of spec for the air crew to work with. But yeah, it's a 1/48 scale aircraft, series number 25, and it's got a wingspan of 229.2 millimeters, and the fuselage is 190 millimeters. So that gives you an idea of the size. I've already opened the box. I've had a look inside. I've removed the sprues from the bags to spare you the noise of the me fiddling with the bags and things, except for the clear parts. I'm not going to remove those, but you get the idea. But it is. I've had a look inside, and it's quite an unusual kit, and you do find this with Japanese kits by Tamiya, in that they do often supply you with a pilot or two sometimes, often kind of one seated in the cockpit and the other pilot kind of standing, so you can kind of choose how you want to display the model. And also in this particular instance, well, I'll open the box and show you. Put that to one side. Right, okay. So just put the instructions to one side there, and I'll look inside and see what we've got. So yeah, we've got the wings. The underside of the wings, all molded in one piece, which is very nice. You can set the angle of the wings there. What's it say on there? I can't quite read it. 148 Zero Fighter Type 32, it says on there. But yeah, a bit of detail in the wheel wells. Got some panel lines. Yeah, some riveting. Very nicely detailed. So, what I did notice about this kit was the fact that it came with, is it 7 figures? Yeah, 7. So it came with 6 kind of ground crew, which I think is very unusual. And I don't know if this is a re-release. I don't know if Tamiya have re-released this recently. I'm not really familiar with the catalogue of what they've been re-releasing recently, but they seem to have quite a few of these. I bought this one, and I noticed that I went back a couple of days later, and they'd replaced it on the shelves. So obviously, shop seems to have quite a few of these. Right, let's have a look. So yeah, you can see. Look at these. So you're kind of waving the crew seem to be waving the pilot off on a mission by the looks of it. Wishing him luck. Is that what they're doing? Or have they got rags? Are they wiping it down? So a couple of them have got hats there. So these here, sorry, excuse me, I'll turn this around. So you can see these here are kind of waving hats, and he's kind of waving. And then here, I don't know whether these are, what are they doing? Are those hats as well, maybe? Maybe they're hats as well. Possibly. Well, they could be doing something to the aircraft, wiping it down, but I don't think so, no. It seems to be more of a casual pose, doesn't it? Rather than a sort of working one. So yeah, I mean, it's a simple kit. There aren't many parts to it, but that's pretty typical of Tamiya, isn't it? So, you know, it's great. It looks great. It's a bit, I mean, the detail's a bit soft, but, you know, I mean, it is tooled in 1970 something. So I did have a brief look on Scalemates, and I think it was tooled in the early 70s. So it gives you an idea of the age of the tooling. I think there's a little bit of flash on some of the other, you know, seam marks and things on the shoulders and then down the sides of these figures. So that'd need a bit of attention and to get rid of those, but nothing major really. You got some sort of indentations on the seat there. I think you can see that. So we've got 2 lots of kind of clear parts. You've got closed canopy. Yeah, we've got the closed canopy there. Very nice. And you've got the canopy in 3 parts, so you can actually display it as an open canopy with maybe the pilot inside and being waved off by his ground crew. Very nice. Let's move this out of the way. Oh, look, there's one part fallen off by the looks of it. Let's have a look at this. Okay. So the engine cowlings. So you've got some sort of intake here. And these for the cannons or the machine guns in the front there. I seem to remember on the roof, which is a seaplane version of the kind of Zero, Nakajima seaplane, kind of based on the Zero airframe, that the pilot was able to kind of cock the machine guns from inside the cockpit. So again, that was quite an interesting feature. So yeah, we've got the drop tanks, the upper wings here, and 2 fuselage halves. Very nice. I mean, really, look, fine. Very finely, are those raised panel lines? Are those? There might even be raised panel lines. Maybe they are, yeah, wow. So those are kind of raised panel lines. So you've got these indented panel lines here, and then you seem to have some raised panel lines on the fuselage, which I've never really seen before on Tamiya. I don't think, anyway. the pilot. Looking quite good. Yeah. Again, he's got a little bit of flash along his arms, or a seam mark that you'd need to kind of get rid of with a bit of scraping and sanding. But yeah, he's pretty well detailed. He's got all of his harnesses and things like that on. I mean, he's sculpted very nicely, I have to say. They've gone to a lot of trouble to make him look very, yeah, see? Amazing detail on the pilot. For all you figure painters out there, you could have some fun with him, I think. Right, let's have a look at the instructions. So, yeah. So, Mitsubishi A6M3 Zero Fighter, Hamp, and yeah, I noticed that they've also got, so this is the Type 32 Zero, and this one is the Zero Type 21, and then we've got a Zero Type 32 there. So you get all this kind of blurb about the history of this particular aircraft and when it was introduced, and the improvements that were made from the pre-production A6M2. So yeah, again, really nice. Hold on, I'll move the box out of the way so you can see all of the instructions. Let's move the rest of that stuff out of the way as well. So yeah, what have we got here? So you got the cockpit detailing, you got the cockpit assembly, you've got all the colour call-outs, you've got the decals there. I mean, the cockpit is pretty detailed. I mean, I do find that you know, Tamiya and some of these other manufacturers do seem to go and make a lot more effort in tooling their native aircraft, you know, the Japanese aircraft. Maybe, I mean, obviously these are mostly for the Japanese market, I would have thought. So you get, yeah, you've got the cockpit interior, metallic blue, X13. Yeah, all the colour call-outs are on there. So you've got the cockpit assembly, the fuselage assembly, you've got the wing assembly, you've got the engine assembly, again all the colour call-outs. You've got, you know, you can spin the propeller if you want. You've got the landing gear detailing. So there's a description here about the landing gear, and all of the details on there. The brake oil pipe. Yeah, all very good. You've got gear down. So what's this? The drop tank assembly. You've got the main gear positioning. So that you know exactly what the position of the wheels should be like. So the gear struts angle inwards slightly. So the struts themselves angle inwards, but the wheels seem to be much more kind of sort of perpendicular to the ground, as you would expect, I suppose. Then you've got like main wing attachment. So you're attaching the wing assembly to the fuselage assembly, and then adding the rest after that. I mean, yeah. Got landing gear assembly. Under surface details, gear down. All right, so you can actually build this kit as a gear up kit, which is quite impressive, because in fact lots of kits these days tend to really, you know, make kits so that the gear up version would take quite a lot of work really to make it to get the fit right, you know, to make things fit properly. I'm not sure what this one's like, but I mean, obviously they've put some thought and effort into offering both options, which is great. And then who are these? These are the figures. So you've got the pilot, the petty officer, so that is a hat, a mechanic, another mechanic. So yeah, you've got You got three kind of main figures there. Got the spinner, propeller, different canopy options, the engine cowl, assembly. Very nice. Excuse me. Just look at these. So yeah, you can see in a bit more detail. Let's turn this over. Oh yeah, so you've got a couple of different marking options here and decals for both. So you've got the fighter group Buna East of New Guinea 1940, which is the kind of lighter of the kind of colour schemes. I can't remember what this colour is, but what do we call it there? Oh yeah, so it's AS29. So that's like a rattle can number reference. So it's grey-green, Imperial Japanese Navy grey-green, yeah. Which was used in the early part of the war, and obviously as things progressed, not necessarily to the advantage of the Japanese, as the Emperor once said, that this one is Fighter Group Rabol 1943, so it has painted over blotches of jungle green. So again, that's a really interesting kind of camo option, I think. And oh, sorry, you've got three options. Right, so we've got another one, which is Tinan Fighter Group 2nd Taiwan 1944. And this is in dark Imperial and Japanese Navy green. So that's AS1. I mean, these colours straight out of the cans are pretty dark. I mean, if you're trying to take scale effect into account, obviously, if you're going to airbrush these colours, it would be preferable, I suppose, to get the kind of right effect. Because yeah, towards the end of the war, particularly this one here, this Tinan fighter group in Taiwan. I mean, this is the one that's depicted on the box on the box art. I think it must be. Yeah. So this is Imperial Japanese Navy green, dark green, in fact. And you can see the weathering on here is pretty. I mean, they didn't have time, or maybe the resources, or to repaint the kind of fuselages and things, and that's pretty typical of the Japanese aircraft towards the end of the war. I mean, amazing, really, when you think about it. You've got the paint has kind of worn off. This dark green has worn off in so many places through kind of wear and tear. Yeah, very good. Okay, so that's it. I've got another couple of kits that I bought from Fasma Models, and I'll bring those to you in subsequent videos. Hopefully keep it quite short. Okay, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Over and out.